We all have bad days. There's no escaping mood swings and feeling frustrated, feeling down, feeling anxious. That's human nature. If you try to escape that, you are trying to escape your own humanity. I wouldn't recommend that. When you feel triggered about something and you react badly to a situation, maybe you then realize that was uncalled for, your reaction. Then I would strongly suggest sitting with that situation. Too many people brush things off. They just want to move on. And then they don't realize that those patterns keep on reoccurring. And the reason for that is because they're not being addressed. So whenever something or someone pulls that trigger, there you go again. You react. And then you move on. You brush it off. And then the trigger comes and you react over and over again. For you to break this pattern, you need to change that behavior. It's really as simple as that. You need to sit down with the situation. You need to maybe journal on that situation. But do it with humility. Do it in a way that allows you to expose the problems. Write down questions. What I do, I write down, why did I feel frustrated? Why did I feel triggered? And then I just let the pen flow. And I'll come up with possibly a narrative that might or might not be true. I'll come up with potential answers. But eventually, that storytelling process of me writing down all these ideas will start to reveal certain answers. I personally have a bit of an issue with urgency, time management. This comes from my upbringing, and at times that's necessary to be focused and to be conscious of time. I don't like being late, for example. I find that it's disrespectful towards other people. I find that it's disrespectful towards my own time. But what I do need to find the balance between is being conscious and disciplined and not feeling emotionally frustrated when it comes to tardiness or urgency. Whenever someone doesn't share the same level of urgency that I feel, there's a trigger. There's an emotional reaction that just shows up. And for me, that's manageable if I consider maybe I didn't explain the importance of the situation. So should I really expect that other person feels as compelled to feel that urgency as I do? Maybe it was on me to explain things better, the situation, the urgency of it, or at least how it makes me feel when people don't take time management as seriously as I do. That's number one. Number two, maybe it wasn't really all that important to be quote unquote quick. Maybe that situation wasn't urgent at all. Maybe I could just chill out. Number three, even if it is a situation of urgency and rush, maybe I just need to take charge, do something about it, not react emotional to it, be a solution-oriented person, and then once the situation is resolved, I guess, I can then sit down with that person and share what I felt and how it made me feel during that whole process. For example, imagine this scenario. You're at the airport and for whatever reason, you're getting late for your flight. Now, this is very stressful for multiple reasons. There's the stress of not wanting to be late for the flight. There's the stress of not wanting to have to reschedule a flight. There's the stress of not wanting to lose the money that you've invested on that ticket, which is not nothing. And then there's the stress added to that of looking around and maybe feeling that no one else cares about the situation as much as you do, especially if you're dealing with, for example, children. Because children don't necessarily understand the notion of time yet, depending on how old they are. Number two, Even if they are old enough to understand time from the standpoint of delayed gratification, which is how children understand time, maybe they don't understand money, or at least the actual value of money, the effort that it takes to acquire money. Maybe children just simply don't see things the way you do. And guess what? That's okay. And sometimes I force myself to sort of just ignore all my adult needs. This morning, for instance, I picked my son up for school, and we were, I don't know, right on time, I guess, but with no time to waste, let's put it that way. He was kind of walking out, going into the car very slowly, very relaxed. I asked him if he was okay. He said, "Yeah, I'm just tired." Okay, then he asked for my phone so he could draw on my phone. I said, "Yeah, sure." As soon as I set off, right, we were driving to school, he dropped the stylus pen. He started crying because he couldn't reach the pen. And I snapped because I thought, do you really expect me to now park the car to find the pen that you just dropped on the floor of the car? In my head, my adult brain kicked in. So I got upset, I got frustrated. I said, "Not now, this is not the time." The whole thing that parents do when they are feeling frustrated. And then on the way to school, as he was still crying but stopping, and he took a deep breath, I said to him, "Look, you have to understand that when it's time to go, it's time to go, and I can't stop to get the pen." Which is what the crying was. The crying was a cry for help, like, grab the pen from me because you have longer arms than I do, and you're not strapped to a baby chair either, or a car seat. And the reality is that it was me who was frustrated. He was frustrated because he dropped the pen and he couldn't reach it. I was frustrated because I was reacting to something that I thought he was asking from me, and he wasn't. I could have just calmly said, "I'm sorry you're feeling this way, and I will not be able to stop the car to grab the pen. So let's take a deep breath," etc., etc. I could have helped him navigate those emotions, and instead I reacted empathetically, I guess, to the emotions. And that's the difficulty sometimes. We react to our triggers without assessing why we are reacting to our triggers. And because I am aware that I have this little hang up on time management, I could quickly snap out of it again, calm down, give him a hug when we got out of the car. So the whole situation of reacting emotionally, negatively that is, lasted 45 seconds. But that's what self-awareness does for you. In 45 seconds, I was out of it. I could recognize that I was reacting to a familiar trigger, and I could then help my child calm down again, give him a hug, apologize for being less nice, and friends as always. The reality is that this takes effort. You have to analyze your triggers. You have to spend time developing the humility to understand that you're not immune to being poked. You're not immune to having your subconscious poked, and then you react to it. So you have to think about, is this situation really frustrating? Or am I feeling frustrated because this is a trigger that I've got that comes from somewhere else, and now I'm reacting to it in the now and projecting my past onto the now? Sometimes you will realize that, yes, this situation is in fact justifiably annoying, frustrating, or sad. That's okay. But don't discard the power of projection. So today, write a list down of your triggers. Think about what upsets you maybe more than once a month, and write it down. Journal on it. Process it. Think about it. Allow yourself to grow through the pain of seeing yourself as being flawed. That journey is very useful. And I wish you safe travels. Take care.